All right, today is a great day. Sun's out, getting some light, getting out of that basement. Uh, we're here to talk about the rules committee for Commander, what just recently happened with Wizards, the the banning of Jeweled Lotus and Mana Vault. But um, let's open this while we're doing it. So let's take a look at this. This is my first one with the bundle or fat pack. I prefer saying fat pack actually. So they look pretty nice. They're not as great as they used to be. They used to come with a book. The stories have gotten worse since then. So that's a lovely man. I live in Michigan, and so I call this like the Midwest set because all the animals are in the Midwest. It's actually like really great to see. Oh, there's something in there. Cool. All right. So there's 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So cool. We're going to open these and then we're going to talk about the rules committee. But first, let's open this. Let's see. What is that? Thunder Tap Trainer. All right. Another otter. Oh, full art. Holy crap. That looks pretty nice. And then the half art. I actually like the full art. That's sweet. I really enjoy that. All right. So what are we talking about? So we're talking about the rules committee. The rules committee, as you probably know, if you're paying attention to Magic, basically just disbanded. And you have a lot of people being like, all right, well, that's great. That's terrible. Everything under the sun. Why did they ban Jeweled Lotus before that? Oh no, my money, my investment. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Magic as an investment makes a lot of sense. It's one of the reasons why I kept playing the game for so long. It was because these cards do become an investment. And especially for those of you that are using student loans to buy these cards, you want these to be an investment as opposed to just something that you frivolously spend money on. So we have, that is some good artwork. Oh, I really like that. Oh, that's okay. So that's the foil. That's the foil in the back. Cool. But we haven't quite gotten to the, oh, there it is. Portent Calamity. All right. Anyways, and a full art. And it looks like it's the fall. So I don't know if you know this, but there's actually a distribution of the fall, the spring, and summer and winter, or is it just whatever? Anyways, winter's like the rarest. So that's pretty cool. So they kind of added a distribution of how rare these lands are in here. But it's of course, these packs. But getting back to the point, so the committee comes out and bans 2 cards, and then there's a huge pushback because people have invested money in this, especially with the chase cards from Magic set, and they basically disbanded. And people are like, "Oh, this is like the end of a grassroots thing." And I'm like, not really. It kind of lost its grassroots understanding or aspect quite a while ago. The second Magic started making Commander decks, which I bought, because I was playing at the time. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at opening these cards. All right. When you go back in time and you look at that, oh, that looks nice. They don't exactly the second commander, because they went from EDH to commander, right? The second that becomes a institutionalized within Wizards, it's no longer grassroots. There's now money on the table from a variety of different angles, and it's silly to think, oh yeah, that's completely fine. This is just going to pan out well, because it's not going to pan out well. At least not in the sense of the grassroots aspect. Jeweled Lotus is quite literally an aspect of that where it's a money grab. Hey, we can't we can't do Black Lotus, but you know what? Everyone's gonna love it if it's commander oriented. And that's exactly what they ended up doing. I think I'm just gonna do this because this makes a lot more sense. I'm not screwing up everything. So let's do that. So we're looking through here and I'm talking at the same time. All right. So it does create a problem when there's a rules committee outside of Wizards. Oh, that's actually like $3. Okay, you get this foil. I think it's like 7. But like, yeah, the idea that the rules committee is not employees by there's that book of a card is not involved with Commander formally within Wizards creates a real problem, and that problem manifests itself in a lot of different ways. Like, why is a bunch of people who are not printing the cards in charge of the format? Well, you know, the format doesn't exactly have an unbumpy road, right? Like this format came from a variety of ways together over a few. I think it was just 1 decade, and it was around this time that like what do you call it? What's his name? The Professor started becoming big. So like this is like during that time. So just to give you like a timestamp of how old we're talking about. So when he, because at the time I was subscribed to him. I'm not anymore because of his liberal takes on just about everything. But when he does, I was watching him as he was giving product reviews, and it was really fun to watch. But you know, he started talking about Commander, and he started talking about EDH, and it was really just about EDH, and it got me interested. And you know, like as of right now, like that's really the only way I'm playing this game is with EDH, and obviously talking to you good folks through opening these packs. But like the problem comes that the committee had a bunch of arbitrary, like basically it was very obvious from the get-go what kind of decks the committee played. Like it wasn't, and then like what they ended up like removing, like Primeval Titan. You can't play with Primeval Titan. And then it's like, okay, well, what about Rule 0? Oh, well, we have to emphasize Rule 0 just, you know, because, but, oh, okay. Helga, Skittish Seer. I have no idea if she's good or not. But she's going to, ooh, a foil version. That's nice. Bellowing Crier and a fish. So we're going to put this in a sleeve because it's a mythic, and that's what I do with mythics. So, but the idea of a, what do you call it? You know, this grassroots organization, yeah, it's cool to start around, but the second like WotC picks it up, like that's pretty much it. It's done. It's been promoted. Now push it out through WotC. Maybe keep it around for a few years, but like it has long outlived its use. And there's some pretty bad plays in terms of certain banning of cards that really made, like, besides Jeweled Lotus, that previously made people feel bad. But like, here's the thing with the commander thing, the commander rules committee, is that the idea of a Rule 0 always being there means that the Rule 0 is always there, right? Like if you're in a group and you're just playing, and you're like, hey, like we don't like playing with LMNOP group cards, like we're not going to allow them to play at our table like we do, like our like my group that I play with do. We don't play with those cards. Or maybe you don't want to deal with tutors of any kind. You don't play with those cards. This is supposed to be, you know, powerful decks, but not necessarily one that steamrolls everybody, right? Like there has to be a play mentality involved. And so that kind of undermines the whole point of what do you call it? A rules committee existing outside of a very pointed voice of select people who happen to be there at the very beginning to tell them, hey, this is what we think of things, right? Like it's basically a concentrated form of feedback. And, I'm a statistician. If you're not going to do surveys, asking people about how they feel about a certain product, that's not basically a snowball sample, because that's what the type of surveys WotC seems to do. And they're terrible samples, by the way. You get a bunch of skewed results. And it's one of the reasons why I think the game is as bad as it is right now in terms of the power level. But it's this idea of you want good feedback. You want people who play the game to respond. And, if there's an aspect of like they're just not that competitive, that's okay. Not everybody needs to be competitive. All right, so that's a crap rare. But, and that is a foil mythic. Okay. Season of Weaving. Is this one of the better ones? Oh, it looks good. And, okay, so that's nice. But yeah, so like the point here, so we got 2 mythics, one foil, one not. I don't know why I put this there, but there we go. So, so now we've got, a situation where the rules committee did something pretty bad, right? Like it cost people a lot of money. And if you're in groups on Facebook, or other social media, just how much people lost. Like this was not a small amount of money that they lost. And so then the backlash, I guess there were death threats. You shouldn't be trying to kill people over this game. Absolutely not. That's ridiculous. But, people, I guess, were doing it. And, excuse me, it ended up becoming a very real problem. And they just all stepped away. What really should have happened is about 5 years ago, maybe 10, the rules committee should have just been bought out. Like they quite literally should have just become direct employees of Wizards, and this would not have happened. Now, would there have been like speculation like, oh, Wizards is going to do like these terrible things? Like, absolutely. That always happens, right? That literally always happens. However, the situation would not have turned to what that's not a great one. I got that one. All right. So, it would not have turned as bad as it did. And there would not have been as big of a problem as there was. And so instead, you have a bunch of people who, hopefully aren't unemployed, or, they didn't make this game the focus of their life because now they don't have a lot of sway. And I know some people have made, let's just say, like money. Well, not let's just say, but they've made money in other ways with the game, like podcasts and different aspects there. But again, the biggest problem here is they didn't get bought into the company when they were promoting a very specific game for a very specific company, and in my opinion, very much should have. Wizards is making a whole bunch of money because of that committee and what it stood for. Again, what it stood for was basically Rule 0 to the nth degree, right? They represented a concentration of, we're not going to play the competitive 60-card format. We're not going to play Emperor. We're not going to play all these other different types. We're going to play Commander because the game has gotten too fast. And we want to be able to play with these really splashy cards. And that's what they represented. And unfortunately, I got this. Oh, okay. That's, I don't know how good that card is. But 2 rares, not complaining. Oh, Cash Grab. I love that card. Like, it's just funny to say. So I've got 2 more packs left, but that's basically my idea about this. Like, the whole understanding of this is just, and how it played out was pretty bad, and it was pretty bad mostly because of, one, how WotC handled it, and how the committee handled it. Obviously, nobody should be getting death threats, but you also shouldn't be banning cards that are worth thousands of dollars. Again, that doesn't justify the death threats. But we also understand that there are some people who play this game that they don't, unfortunately, just like many games that have a huge fan base, you get some crazy people. So That's just really unfortunate, but that's what happens. And so, you kind of have to deal with that. And it's another reason why I don't let my kids play this particular game, is because the variance in response from a company that doesn't seem to respect its customers, along with the community that like like I don't know, what do you call it? What do you call it? The one thing where they like a captive starts liking their whatever. So, and I know I'm saying this while opening these cards, which makes another foil one. The climate changed and the world suffered. I wonder what the focus of that was. But again, the whole understanding here isn't that WotC is inherently bad. Nobody, I'm again being very clear about this, nobody should be getting death threats. That is wrong. But this idea, though, of, and I'm not saying but as a but to the death threats. That's not what I'm saying. It's more of a continuation. So I'm just, whatever. Some people are going to get mad about it. I'm not endorsing death threats whatsoever. So if anybody's like saying that I endorse death threats, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Wizards had an opportunity to make sure that that committee was brought in, and they didn't. And it's ironic given the criticism of, especially when I started reading their articles online like 10 years ago, they give off this heavy leftist understanding of what they do. And unfortunately, they seem to be following a path where it's like, all right, well, we're leftists, but we own a company and we're part of this company. Like, what do we do? And it's like, well, like, it seems like you guys are making a caricature of exactly what you don't want to happen in, supply and demand situations, where the company takes advantage of its customers in like the worst way. And you just happen to be like doing that exact thing over and over and over again. And so it creates this dynamic of like, okay, well, like, we'd like to be able to play this game, but, I don't want to support a company that will go out of its way to screw its player base. But in this case, I don't really think that happened. I think the committee decided to screw the player base with its rulings, and it created this domino effect of pushback that led to a very serious situation, and I'm glad they're all okay. Because that you don't want people getting hurt playing this game. You want people to have fun. That's the whole point of this game, is to have fun and be thoughtful about it. Let's see, is there a... okay, dang it. So it's a bird cleric. So that's the thing. So let's see how many rares I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with 2 mythics. So, and then there's the otter there. So we got 13 total. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 13 total. And that's for 9 packs, not bad. One obviously an auto include with the thing, with the bundle. But yeah, so that's basically my 2 cents. I grew up, or I didn't grow up, I guess I continued to grow up playing this game while all this stuff was forming, and it's kind of getting ridiculous because you can see the lack of memory with the people who are complaining about all this crap. You're seeing a bunch of like knee-jerk reactions and extreme responses, and that's just not okay. Like you gotta I'm sorry, like most of you are adults. Most of us who play are adults. We can think about this for more than 5 seconds without resorting to like terrible actions or overreacting in a way where you're not playing anymore, or you've lost all your money. There's a way of dealing with that. Now, obviously, if you put all your money into Jeweled Lotus, that's probably a problem. But the outside of that, we're talking about a game here, right? Like, you're supposed to have fun. If you're not having fun and you're in it just to do investments, Well, then, I mean, there is the stock market. So, but besides that, thanks for staying with me here and opening packs with me. And please leave a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and whatever you thought of it. I'm happy to hear those comments. Again, I'm a statistician. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you for watching and have a great day.